Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? Welcome to a DFS Strategy video for the 2024 Sanderson Farms Championship. This is the 2024 fall season event. If you're unaware or unfamiliar with the fall season, go check it out on the PGA Tour website. I guess the TLDR would be, for those that didn't make it to the playoffs, this is their opportunity to get a PGA Tour card for next season. So basically the top 70 from last year already get their tour card. They get in the signature events, all that good stuff. Now the rest of the remaining players that are playing this fall season, they are looking to get within the top 125, because the top 125 goes on to the PGA Tour next year. And then for the remaining guys like Corn Ferry and whatever, the ways of getting into the tour are the same. So that's what these fall series events are. And if you weren't aware, you can see on DraftKings, they don't really do they don't put out a lot of contests. They don't put out a lot of money on those contests. It's very, very small stakes. Or at least there's still higher stakes events, or contests. There just aren't a lot of contests anymore because, quite frankly, this takes a back seat to the NFL. So if you're here with me, you care about this just as much as I do. I'm always going to play. I'm always going to collect data. I'm always going to sharpen my skills. I'm always going to continue to play PGA DFS. So hopefully that's why you're here. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm looking for more subscribers. You can see I have a goal all the way over there to the left. And just to show you what the goal, basically, I like to reward you for rewarding me, for giving me a subscription. I like to do giveaways, and I'll throw that on the screen right now. I've got a weekly and a monthly giveaway, which I'll be running shortly, within the next 5 minutes. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and participate, just like Joshua Maz. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, but I know it's Josh Maz. What's going on, man? So if you're here during the roll calls that I have, and the roll call will just be just say howdy, or, say SweetSpot or something like that, you will get an entry into the giveaway. If you can't make it during the live stream, that's fine. On replay, if you comment on the video after this goes live, you're going to get an additional entry. It doesn't matter if you're here in the live chat or not. And for all of those that have been here before, it only takes one entry to win. I don't know how many times that I've ran this giveaway where there was a person that only put one entry in, going against other people that have put in 8 entries and won. Now, of course, the more entries you put in, the better your chances are at winning. But still, one entry is that's all it takes. And again, I want to reward you guys for rewarding me. So be subscribed, participate in the channel. What's going on, AJ Love? Nice to see you as well. PGA Tour season is back, at least for the short term. I think this will run all the way until about Thanksgiving. The fall series events, there might be 1 week off in the middle, but I think we have PGA every single week until Thanksgiving. So yeah, Joanne, what's going on? Nice to see you here as well. Made it through the storm. Yeah, I suppose that's really close to, isn't it? Just got power back yesterday. Well, hey, welcome. I'm glad you got power back, and I'm glad you're using your power to watch me. This is great. This is great. Nice to see you, Joanne. All right. Let's go ahead and let's run the giveaway right now. I have a weekly and a monthly giveaway to do. So I'll put that on the screen. So I have the monthly, which is also the weekly, because we were only live one time last month. I had said I was going to do a website stream. I am sorry. I had been battling cluster headaches for the last 3 weeks, which, go check those out. Google search what a cluster headache is. It's no fun. There's no cure to it. It's pretty seasonal. So I'm on my tail end of them. I don't think I'm going to really get any more, knock on wood. So, yeah, it's been a pain in the butt. Now, I got everything for my website completed that I wanted to. I just haven't been able to put the dashboards up. More to that, actually, let's do this giveaway first, and then I want to talk about the website. So very first, we're going to do the weekly giveaway. So these are the people that participated during the Pro Core tournament. You're going to see SWO. I have acronyms for my tournaments. This stands for Safeway Open. Remember when it used to be called the Safeway Open? That's why it's there. I'm not going to change the acronym because that tournament rebrands almost every 3 years, it seems like. So I'm not too concerned about it. So SWO just stands for Safeway Open, which is the Pro Core Championship. Weekly giveaway. We had 13 entries. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this yes after a drum roll. Nathan Johnson. Congratulations, Nathan. You win $5. So I will send that to you, your preferred payment method, whether that's through PayPal, Google Pay, or Venmo. So any three of those will work. We can also bank those to get like a t-shirt somewhere down the road, which I do plan to do a merch drop before Thanksgiving. So I do have an idea when to do that. There's a lot of good stuff that's been happening in my life. So we'll do a merch drop here before Thanksgiving. I'm going to need testers for my website. Again, I'll get to that here a little bit later. Let's do the monthly giveaway right now. Same thing, drum roll. Nathan Johnson wins again. Is this rigged? It is not rigged. Nathan, congratulations, man. You've won it twice. You've won the weekly and the monthly. I want to see someone else's name than Nathan and Cordero. There we go. It's not rigged. It's random. It's a randomizer. But congratulations, Nathan. Double time. So because we didn't reach the goal, and I'm going to bring the screen down and bring back up the giveaway, you can see I'm going to give away $100 if the goal is met. Now you can see the little fine print right here that says money is awarded when subscriber goal is met. I'm at 780 out of 800 subscribers. I haven't created a graphic for this, but I'm going to give away $1,000 worth of, I'm going to give away $1,000 when we get to 1,000 subscribers. Now there's a caveat to that. It's not going to be 1,000 green dollars. It's going to be $1,000 worth of prizes. So it will be one lifetime membership. It'll be 2 annual memberships. And if you're unaware of what that is, let me go ahead and bring up my website. So if you are living under a rock and you didn't know that I have a website called SweetSpotDFS.com, here it is. It's pretty simple for right now. I do provide, extra strategy tools through the website if you're a paying member. You don't have to be a paying member in order to get some, but you do have to create an account on SweetSpotDFS.com. Because like the 7K combo buckets, the only way to get the 7K combo buckets would be having a free account. And you can create a free account really, really easily. I'm not going to show you it. I'm not going to spend a super long time on this. I do have a members only tab, which you do have to be a paying member. But like I said, with $1,000 worth of giveaways, I will give away 2 $100 winners. So there will be actual cash money with the giveaway. So I'm going to give away 2 $100 winners. And then I am going to give away 1 lifetime membership. I did say 2 annuals. That would be $1,000 right there. Do I want to do that? I don't think so. No, I'll do 1 annual, 1 lifetime. So that would be $800 worth of giveaways. And then I'm going to do the 2 $100 winners. So there you go. You get 1 lifetime membership at SweetSpotDFS.com. $200. You'll get the $200 yearly. So you'll get a free year's worth of access to SweetSpotDFS.com. And then again, I'm going to give away 2 $100 winners. So we have to hit 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. And I want this by the end of the year. So January 1st, if we can hit 1,000 subscribers, I will give away $1,000 worth of giveaways. I want us to get, no matter what, over 800 subscribers. But if we can get to 1,000, I'll give away $1,000 worth of giveaways. So throwing that out there, putting that out in the ether, see if it'll stick. And hopefully you guys can help me get to that goal. Whether you're new or if you're an existing member trying to get your friends to join or to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. I'm going to reward you guys for rewarding me. Pretty much is the main thing that I'm talking about. So, let's talk about the website really quick. I usually go through this like a little bit longer. If you want to skip past this, that's fine. Check out the timestamps in the description below. It's not going to be available during the live stream, but if you're watching this on replay, go check it out. I'm going to create, I have a database completed. I need to add the dashboards to the website. And if you are wondering what this is going to look like, go to rickrungood.com. You go to that or watch his videos online. That's basically what my site's going to become. Now, I need beta testers. I need beta testers for when I put that out. Here's what I need you to do. If you're interested in becoming a beta tester, which basically, let me see if I can show it to you guys. I'm not going to show you what the behind the scenes looks like for the website, but can't remember what page that I have this saved to. I've showed this before. But let me get to it really quick. I wonder if it's just under fantasy tools. No. And for those that are wondering, I said I was going to have this done by this week. I just couldn't get there with the cluster headaches that I had. Just could not get there. I am having trouble finding it. Here's what I will say. If you are going to follow along with me on this video, go to Fantasy Tools. This is free for everyone. You don't even have to have a website, or you don't even have to have a free account. You can go to Cheat Sheet. You can also go to Optimizer. The cheat sheet is available to you guys. You can check it out here on the channel or on the website, or you can click this click here button, and that will bring up the Google Doc, the Google Sheets that I have this saved to. So you can follow along there, or you can check out the description down below. I do have a link for the cheat sheet there. If you want an optimizer, which I will be building lineups with this optimizer. Let me zoom in. I will be building lineups with this optimizer. If you want access to it, click on that optimizer drop down, come here, put in your email address, and hit request now. I will get an email letting me know that you're interested in using the optimizer, and I will send it to you at my earliest convenience. And that is not okay. I remember where it's at. I am sorry for this. I couldn't remember where I had my first dashboard saved to, but I am gonna do this really quick. I got to the page. Okay. So this isn't going to be like super cute or friendly. This is my editor tool, so you can kind of see. But you know how people will have this information. I've shown this in other videos. I'm going to have a search bar up here, and it's going to be able to like look at the golfers you want to look at. So obviously I've got Tournament of Champions. This is like a very raw look, but it'll have everyone's finishing position, what their results were, you know, last week, the week before, all that good stuff. So this will be available to each and every one of you. Actually, what I was asking for is I need beta testers. So I'm going to have these dashboards, which are going to allow you to search for data, look up data. I want people to go in, try to break it, try to find flaws in it, you know, provide feedback, like what they like about it, what they don't like about it, what they wish they could see, what they don't care to see, all that good stuff. I need, like I said, I need beta testers. So if you're interested, you're going to get all the way until January 1st, you will have access to the website. Looking at the dashboards that I'm going to provide. I won't be providing that to the public unless you're a paying member. So really, you got to be a beta tester, and I will need you to go into it at least once a week. I do get access to see who's visiting the page. So if you sign up just to, get the services and not test it, chances are I might remove you from being a beta tester. But I'm going to be pretty casual and relaxed about it. I just want people to come to the site, use it, tell me what they like, what they don't like, all that stuff. So again, what I ask for you in the time being, I'm going to have this ready for you next week. I'm going to show it to you next week. I need you to create an account on SweetSpotDFS.com. It's pretty simple, like I said. I can show it to you really quick. You just go to this little login button up here, go to join now, select free, and then put in the information that comes with this. This is all that I need you to do, and then I need you to email me at SweetSpotDFS.com and tell me I'd like to be a beta tester. I most likely will put a page on here with a pop-up saying you would like to be a beta tester, or hey, if you'd like to be a beta tester, click here, and then I'll have you send me an email that way. That way I can contact you there, but I don't have that up and running right now. Yeah, that's the quick 2 cents that I have, and not super quick, but figured I would provide that to you all. So yeah, looking for beta testers. I'm pretty excited. I got the database completed. The data is clean. I can't wait to publish the dashboards to the site. All right. We did the giveaways. I talked about the website. Let's go ahead and get in this. We're gonna start with the. Actually, let me check the chat. I haven't looked at the chat just yet. AJ Love goes, I have cluster headaches too. I missed 3 weeks of work this summer. Man, that sucks. Yeah, so they say it's like January and July are the most common months, but I think here in northern Minnesota, you just kind of bump everything back. Or actually, you don't so much bump everything back, you bring it in. So it's not going to be January to July. For me, it's March. Actually, yeah, you bump it back. Mine was March to September. So, Nuke Live, or Nuke One Live. What's going on, man? We're back. Yes, we are. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the course and tournament information. So I always like to start with the tournament fact sheets like I do every single week. By the way, I'm not spending a lot of time on this. I just want to let you guys know, check out the tournament fact sheets. Some of the most important piece of information, the par, the yardage, you can use those as data points for researching. If you really want to get, into the weeds, checking numbers, number of holes that water's in play, that's fine. I like to come here during the turf grass and check out what grasses they use. So we got the champion Bermuda grass on the greens. Just look at Bermuda grass. And then we kind of have a blended mix on the tees and then the rough of Bermuda and zoysia grass, which is super interesting. Fairways, though, pure Bermuda, looks like. You can see the Country Club of Jackson features 27 holes, with dogwood and azalea being what these PGA Tour pros are going to be playing on. So if you're going to try to map out the golf course, make sure that those are the 2 nines that you're looking at. And then there's other additional notes. If you really want to check it out, go for it. Not that big of a deal, in my opinion. But yeah, that's your tournament. Now, I do map out the golf course myself to try to figure out which shot shapes matter at this golf course, and not to bore you, and prolong this video. You can see what I have as a snapshot up here for what type of shot shapes matter at this golf course. I do have kind of a little summary box right here, so you can see how many shots a draw is beneficial off the tee, how many fades are beneficial off the tee. Looks like this is more of a fader's golf course than it is a drawer's golf course. Now, if you look like at a satellite image of this golf course, or if you go to what's it called, bluegolf.com, it's usually where that's where I usually map out my golf courses. you're going to see this course is pretty wide open. I shouldn't even say wide open. It's just not densely populated with trees. And the fairway is pretty short. So a lot of people that I've heard throughout the week talk about this tournament, they talk about how you can bomb and gouge it, which I'm not going to disagree with. But when we look at the leaderboards, you know, when we dig into which plays would be the best plays, you're not going to find out that all bombers do well at this golf course. Much like you're not going to find that all plotters do bad at this golf course. Like, it's a mix. It'll always be a mix. So don't get married to the idea that it's a bombers only track. You're going to want both bombers, plotters, you know, short game players. It all applies. This is a very weak field. And I guess let's talk about the tournament right now. The strength of field to this is 131. Now, you might not know what that means. And hey, you don't necessarily need to know what that means. 131, this is a strength of field rating, how the old OWGR used to do it. So what they would take is last year's FedEx Cup rankings and then this year's OWGR ranking. They combine them together. There's a formula that's involved, and then it looks at, you know, this is a home course event. How many golfers in the top 30 are in this field, and it gives it a little bit of a bonus. And then it spits out a rating. The highest I've ever seen is in the 900s, and that was the PGA Championship where Phil Mickelson won at Kiowa Island. I think it was 971 was the greatest. This strength of field resembles that of an alternate field event. And this used to be an alternate field event, by the way, back in 2018 and older, or, you know, further in the past. It was an alternate field event to the WGC HSBC Championship, which was in China. So it was very like, it was a tournament that bad golfers just used to go to. The golfers that didn't qualify for the WGC events, that's where this tournament went. And quite frankly, that's kind of how it's been for ever since also. Like, some good golfers come to this tournament, like Sam Burns. Ludwig Oberg was here last year after the Ryder Cup, just so you know. So if you're kind of wondering, should I play Mackenzie Hughes because he was at the President's Cup? I don't see it really hurting him. It could, don't get me wrong, it could. But Ludwig was at the Ryder Cup last year, and that was overseas. I believe so, right? I think the Ryder Cup was overseas. I think it was in Italy. So Ludwig traveled just fine after being pretty heavily involved in the Ryder Cup and did just fine. Now, he's probably a different echelon of golfer than Mackenzie Hughes, but Mackenzie Hughes didn't have to travel that far. They lost. They didn't win like Ludwig did. Ludwig's team won the Ryder Cup. I'm sure they celebrated pretty hard. Mackenzie Hughes didn't. So, and he was at a home field event, basically. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on the, hey, does it really matter if they played last week at the President's Cup or not? I don't think it does. So anyways, last year's strength of field rating was 109. So this year's it's 131, so it's a little bit better than last year's. In 2023, it was 148, just so you know. And I think Sam Burns was defending his title, but shot or finished somewhere in the 30th place, I want to say. Yeah, 30th, right here. So Sam Burns was in the field. He provided 16 points to the strength of field, while Sepp Straka provided 11. And then I don't know if anyone else really was that. No, nobody was in the double digits for strength of field points that they provided. So 148 in 2023. And that year, the cream didn't rise to the top. You know, you had a bunch of 9K golfers there, but not really any 10K golfers up there. Let's see, what did 2022 have for strength field? 179. That's the one that Sam Burns won. So he was 11,000, top price guy. Sungjae was in the field also and finished 31st place. He provided double digits when it came to strength of field. So did Corey Connors, and so did Will Zalatoris. So like that was a bit better when it came to strength of field points. And obviously that rating was higher than any of the other years. I do not have a strength of field rating in 2021, so this year's pretty in the middle when it comes to strength of field. So does the cream rise to the top? Well, I guess 2021 Sergio Garcia was 51st in the world, and he won the tournament. Sungjae was there as well. Down here, he finished 28th. So not in 2021. 2022, you had Sam Burns, 18th in the world, won the tournament. And we had 33rd, 31st, 44th, 64th. All these guys were inside the top 20. So yeah, they did just fine. Your top price guy, Sam Burns, he won the tournament. In 2023, where the strength of field was pretty high, Sepp Straka was 39th in OWGR. He had 11 points that was going towards the strength of field, and he finished second. And that's pretty much it. I mean, Sam Burns was down here somewhere, right? Yeah, he was 12th in OWGR and finished 30th. So that's not super great. And I'm going to be going over the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups right after this segment. I'm just kind of getting our bearings straight. Trying to figure out, should we target top price guys? Ludwig finished second. I bet you he was the top price guy last year. Yeah, he was the top price guy. He finished second. Jaeger and Cole were the next top price guys, and they finished 25th and 35th, respectively. So yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, if you want to target the top price guys this week, I don't have an issue with it because you've got Mitchell, Power, and Hughes up there. Now, compared to those other years where you had Sam Burns and Sungjae Im, this is a bit different. So I might actually eat my words and say this could be a good week to fade the top priced guys. Especially when the 9K range. I mean, I think Nick Dunlap might be the best golfer in the field. Like, I think he might be. There are some other good golfers in this field, but man, Nick Dunlap, I mean, there's a reason why he's the thumbnail of this pic or of the video. I just put Ricky on the thumbnail because I didn't want to have to create a thumbnail of either Keith Mitchell. I did have a Seamus Power one, but I'm not gonna really trust Seamus Power that much, and Ricky just a popular guy. So it isn't that I like Ricky; it's that I like Nick Dunlap. So like him, I also like Ben Griffin, and I didn't want to create a thumbnail with Ben Griffin on it either. So maybe in the future, But when it comes to the tournament, we just talked about the strength of field. It's going to be top 65 in ties. There are 12 less golfers this year than there were last year. So there are 144 golfers that were in the field last year. There's 132 golfers in the field this year. I think that might have to be... Actually, I noticed that the PGA Tour also shaved off, I think it was 12 golfers at the Procore Championship. So I don't know if they're making these fields a little smaller. I don't know what goes into them. But yeah, you can see 144 golfers the last 4 years. We're going to have 132 this year. You can look at like past average cuts, I guess. So -5 was the cut last year, -2 the year before that, -5 the year before that, -3 the year before that, -3 in 2020. And I'm not going to continue going through all of them. Your winning score is going to hover around 19 under, it looks like. We have 18 under in 2024, 17 in 2023, 22 under in 2022, 19 under in 2021, and 18 under in 2020. So those are all data points you can use for researching. If you've got a site that you can use average cut score or you can use average winning score, go for it. I don't see any hurt in doing that. You know, it's going to require some birdies to win this tournament. So that is the tournament. Let's go ahead, jump right into the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. This is presented to you by the Fantasy Golf Pod. They're the ones that allow me to give away $100 for the monthly giveaway as opposed to $50. And if you want to be a part of the monthly giveaway, be here in the next 20 minutes as I do a roll call That'll get you into the giveaway for the weekly giveaway as well as the monthly giveaway. And of course, if you're watching this on replay, leave a comment down in the comment section. That is how you get an entry into the giveaway. Again, not only for the weekly giveaway, but also the monthly giveaway. So if you want an opportunity to win $100, be subscribed and comment when you can. All right, so we start in 2020. And like I told you during the course and tournament information segment, this tournament used to be an alternate field event out right next to the WGC HSBC. Then it became its own standalone event in 2019, all the way until now. So if you win this tournament, you're a real boy, as opposed to not being one. You will be invited to the Masters. You will be given, I don't even remember how much money is for first place, but this is a full field event. It is not an alternate field event anymore. So 2020 is when DraftKings decided to put down contest for the Sanderson Farms Championship. So what we have here is your optimal lineup left $200 on the table, and your GPP winning lineup left $0 on the table. Your optimal consisted of a $7,900 golfer, a 10-5, a 10,000, a 7,900, a 6,900, and a 66. Or a different way of saying that would be a 10-10, 7-7, 6-6. Now, if you're new to the channel, I like to talk about starting with a template when it comes to building lineups, and that is a 10-9-8, 7-7-6. That's a 10K golfer, a 9K golfer, an 8K, a 7K, or two 7Ks, and a 6K. Here we have a 10-10, 7-7, 6-6. I also say you can make two substitutions. This one made more than two substitutions for your optimal lineup. Now, when I mean by substitutions, I mean dropping a 10 down to a 9 or a 9 up to a 10, which obviously you did here, but it would have went from an 8 down to a 7 down to a 6 to get two 6Ks. Or it would have went an 8 down to a 7 and then one of those 7s down to a 6. So more than two substitutions. Your GPP winning lineup had the two 10K golfers as well, which is crazy. And it had two 7K golfers, a 6K, and a third 7. So this actually would have been your two substitutions because it had three 7Ks, one 6K, and two 10s. So you sub one 9 up to a 10, the 8 down to a 7. That way you get three 7s, two 10s, and a 6. Now, one thing I want you guys to focus on as I go through this is how many 10K golfers do you see up inside the top 10? How many are part of the optimal lineup? How many part of the GPP winning lineup? So obviously we had two in 2020. In 2021, your optimal lineup left a lot of money on the table. This is difficult to do. I don't ever advise trying to leave that much money on the table. Try to steer away from that. We don't need to be absolutely perfect. We want to be perfect in a realistic sense. So your optimal included Sergio at 8,600, Malnati at 63, JT Poston at 75, Keegan Bradley at 71, Henrik Norlander at 67, and Chris Ventura at 7,200. So that's three 7Ks, two 6Ks, and an 8K. Now, inside the top 10, do you see any 10K golfers? There are none. I don't even see a 9K golfer. It is 8Ks, 7Ks, and 6Ks. Even inside the top 12, there are no 9Ks or 10Ks. It isn't until you get to 17th place you see Corey Connors, $9,200. Sebastian Munoz, $9,900. Zach Johnson at 96, and then Sung J M down here at 10.5, who was a part of the GPP winning lineup because it's difficult not to build a lineup without spending most of the money. And that GPP winning lineup had Sergio at 86, Bradley at 71, McCarthy at 79, Sink at 76, Sabatini at 76, and then Sung J M at 10.5, leaving $700 on the table. Now, I don't need to tell you guys that you could have built a better lineup than that pretty easily because, one, you don't see a lot of those golfers mixed up inside the top 5, the top 6, the top 10. You've got golfers all over the place. And if I were to put a filter on this, sort by the DraftKings points, Let's grab that 10K golfer as Sung Jae, just because it's easy to do that. And then we want an 80K or 8K golfer. I just want one 6K golfer, then a 7, and let's do another 7. This leaves me with $10,000 flat to build a lineup with, or to finish off my lineup. I might as well just go with Sebastian Munoz down here at $9,900. So let's see how many points this would have scored. Would I have taken down a GPP? If so, you can basically follow along, or you can follow this type of lineup build, because this would have been good enough to win a GPP. This scored 637. Your GPP winning lineup scored 609. So yeah, having a 10K golfer that finishes in 20th, or let's just say less, or 30th or better, 30th place or better, having a 10K golfer do that, you're more likely going to win a GPP. This isn't going to be a week that's going to be easy to figure out which golfers to select. You don't need to get super cute by fading the 10Ks or fading the 9Ks or fading the 8Ks. You don't have to do that. So that's 2021. Moving to 2022, your optimal lineup left the same amount of money on the table that the previous year did. So this one leaves $6,600 on the table. And it consists of Sam Burns, who's $11,000. Then it's Cam Young, $6,100. When was Cam Young 60? Like, when was the last time? That probably was. Last time he was even in the 6K range. That's crazy. 11,000, 6,100. Nick Watney, 63. Andrew Novak, 63. Henrik Norlander, 72. And Trey Mullinax, 6,500. The 6K range reigns supreme at this event. Again, it's a weak field event. Anyone can win this tournament. So anyone that's in the field, there'll be some that you can just ignore. But hey, you want to get extra frisky this week, by all means do so. Select yourself a 6K golfer and just ride with it. Your GPP winning lineup left $300 on the table. And that also include Burns and Cam Young and Seth Reeves, of all people, at $6,300, $9,400 Cameron Tringali, $7,000 Steven Yeager, and $9,900 Mito Pereira. That is an 11K, 2 9Ks, 1 7, and 1 6. So that also doesn't do the 2 substitutions. Now I do have a realistic optimal here. So that GPP scored 669. The realistic optimal scored 744. By the way, scoring a lot of DraftKings points is going to be required to win a GPP this week. So this realistic optimal had a 10, 2 9s, 1 7, and 2 6s. That is more of a realistic lineup, is it? I guess. Having a 10 and 2 9s, that's pretty challenging. I think I would want to build a better lineup than that. So I would rather go like 11, maybe let's go 9,500, and then $8,100 CT Pan, $7,200 Henrik Norlander. Let's see, I want another 7K golfer, I think. I guess maybe that's the issue. There aren't many. Oof, this is leaving a lot of money on the table. That just goes over 7,500, so maybe not 68. I can go 60. We can do 65. So this leaves $200 on the table. What can I do? Or how many points does this score? Probably not enough, right? Of course, it needs to take down a GPP. So it scores 713. Your GPP scores 669. So yeah, this lineup also works. And that's going 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. It's 11K with Sam Burns. I have a $9,500 Siwoo Kim, $8,100 CT Pan, Luke List at 7,500, Henrik Norlander at 72, and then Trey Mullinax at 65. So you do a lineup like that and still take down a GPP. Like I said, I think you're going to have a lot of room to work with between the first place guy, or if you're not in first place, whatever the first place guy is. Between that and the optimal lineup, I think you're going to have a lot of points. This is just a difficult week to project as to which players are going to do well. Your optimal lineup in 2023 left $3,600 on the table. Again, that's difficult to do. That goes 7, 89, 61, 76, 94, 74. Those are your price tags. Not a single 10K golfer inside the top 10, but you do have two 9K golfers, make that three 9K golfers, and two 8K golfers. So maybe a bit more balanced with that lineup. Your GPP winning lineup scored 612 and used up all but $300 of the salary, and you got 7,800, 7,600, 9,400, 9,600, and I gotta scroll down to $7,200 Davis Thompson. So that is 2 9s, 1 8, and 3 7s. That made up that lineup, and it left $300 on the table. Now I do have a realistic lineup here, and that would be 2 9s, an 8, and 3 7s as well. So I'm kind of showing you can do a lot of different builds when it comes to this tournament. Different salary structures. In 2024, your optimal left $0 on the table, and that's a 10, 8, 8, 6, 7, 8. So I guess to say that a different way, that's a 10 and 3 8K golfers, 1 7K golfer, and a 6K golfer. That's wild. Your GPP winning lineup scored 655, and it also used up $50,000 of the salary, and it went 10, 8, 7, 7, 7, 9. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 7. That's the second most common GPP winning lineup. Also the second most common optimal lineup build, going 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 7. Your sweet spot optimal scored 689.5, and that was 30 points better than the $5 GPP. And you had a 10, 3 8K golfers as well, a 7, and a 6. So that would be following the sweet spot process. Everything that I cover in these videos, that would have built that lineup last year. I don't think any of us did, but it could have. Very well could have. So those are your pass optimal and GPP winning lineups for the last 5 years, 2024 to 2020. All that I got from that was there are several different lineup constructions that you can do. And when we think about salaries this year, you have Keith Mitchell in the 10K range, Seamus Power, and Mackenzie Hughes. None of those three golfers remotely resemble, let's say, Sam Burns or Sung J M of previous years. Like, they're not even to that level. So if those guys are making the top 10s of this leaderboard and are in the GPP winning lineups and are in the optimal lineups, I don't know if I fully trust these three golfers, any one of them, to be in the optimal or the GPP winning lineup. Do I think one of them will finish top 30? Yes. Yes, I do. I think one of them will. Could two of them? Absolutely. Like, I don't see why not. But to be inside the top 10, I don't know who I trust out of those guys. You know, like Keith Mitchell had a 12th place finish at the Pro Championship. That's great. So his last finish was pretty good. And when it comes to the last 7 weeks, he has an average finishing position of 12th, which is that one tournament. Same goes with Seamus Power. Apparently he was leading the Irish Open, or was really close to leading the Irish Open, which is a DP World Tour event. I didn't watch it. I just heard it through the grapevine. So not only did he have a 10th place finish at the FedEx St. Jude Championship, but he also had another probably top 20, top 30 place at a DP World Tour, or I don't even know. Did he finish 12th? I can't remember. Then you had Mackenzie Hughes, who finished 4th at the Procore Championship and was a part of the President's Cup last week. I didn't think he played terrible during the FedEx or the President's Cup, but he's just, you know, a B-tier golfer, basically. Now, are those three golfers better than these golfers down here? I mean, I put them in the same level. You know, like I told you, I like Nick Dunlap quite a bit. I also do like Ben Griffin quite a bit this week. Griffin's really good on Bermuda golf courses. Nick Dunlap, I would say, I mean, he's an Alabama guy, which the turf grass down in that region is going to be Bermuda primarily. He won on the American Express or he won the American Express tournament, which would have been an overseed. This is not overseed. He also won up in Tahoe he won the Barracuda Championship, which was all bent grass. So neither of those tournaments that he won were Bermuda. I don't know how much. Maybe he just plays well all over the place. It doesn't really matter what turf grass it is. But I mean, Ben Griffin is a Bermuda specialist. I like him there. I also like Eric Cole on Bermuda. He's a Florida guy. He's going to be playing, you know, primarily Bermuda golf courses there. So I don't mind him. We can talk more about Bermuda guys when we deep dive, kind of going into the buckets and selecting players later on in this video. But yeah, I'm thinking like the main premise or the main reason I'm bringing up this part of the video is, do we start with a 10K golfer? I think that's the main question I have. And for roll call number 1, for those in the chat, I just want you to answer yes or no. Are you going to play a 10K golfer this week? So answer yes or no. You're going to get an entry into the giveaway for next week. And also this goes into the monthly giveaway. Actually, I can just delete the monthly giveaway altogether. We just ran it. Again, Nathan Johnson, congratulations. So roll call number 1. Are you playing a 10K golfer this week or not? Yes or no? And just a reminder, if I'm going to be building lineups here at the end of the video, I want you to make sure that you're caught up with the videos. So hit the little live button down here to the left. Make sure you click that so it brings you all the way to current. If you're not current and we build lineups later, I will be waiting for your answer, whether or not you like a certain lineup or a certain golfer. So let me know. AJ Love says yes. Joanne says no. And if anyone else comes into play, or if anyone comes into the stream, just let me know, yes or no. Are you playing a 10K golfer? And I will add you to the roll call. All right, I'm going to move on. We're going to go into... Normally I would review last week's tournament, but I didn't have anything for the President's Cup. I could talk about the Procore Championship and how well the SweetSpot process did during the Procore Championship, but I think we're just going to skip past that. Let's just get right into bucket system for this event, and then we're going to get into the Marquee Tee Times. So let me go ahead and hit you with that transition. The bucket system allows us to really narrow down on certain players, certain golfers that we want to select based off of what historical stats show up inside the top 10. I have a video, I have an article that explains what the bucket system is. Go to SweetSpotDFS.com to read the article. You can check out, I actually have the tools down below in the description. Go check out the bucket system there. But basically all I'm going to be doing is trying to figure out who I want to anchor my lineups around. So we don't have last week buckets to look at because we didn't have a tournament last week that the bucket system would look at. Yes, the President's Cup was last week, but no, there's no bucket system for the President's Cup. There's no way to quantify what a President's Cup does for a player. Now, if you're following along with me, again, you can go to the cheat sheet, which you can find a link for that in the description below, or you can go to SweetSpotDFS.com, check it under the fantasy tools. If you're following along with me, what I like to do is go to this max projection column, go ahead and go filter by condition, and I'm going to go greater than or equal to 2. The buckets that remain on here are technically your anchor buckets. But I also like to look over in this column here. Anything less than 2 or close to less than 2, I try to also remove. So this last year 5 bucket, we're not going to look at. And in fact, what I can do is just filter by condition here as well, which you guys should have access to on the cheat sheet. I want greater than or equal to 2. And this would technically be what I would feel comfortable saying. You want golfers, at least one golfer from the remaining buckets. But to narrow it down for this video just a little bit more, I'm going to get rid of like really high numbers. So anything greater than 30, I'm just going to remove from my list. And again, I can either filter by condition, or I can just go in here and deselect all the ones that are greater than 30. 30 or greater, I should say. And that leaves us with 2 buckets. Maybe I should bring back the one with 30 in it. All right, we can do that. You know what? Let's talk about this, because I'm not going to make this an anchor bucket, to be honest with you guys. Course history 6 are golfers that have 0 course history at this event. And this is actually, since there aren't many buckets to talk about, let's really deep dive this. So I'm going to go ahead and sort by the salaries, look at our course history 6s. All right, so we do have some good golfers here that have 0 course history at this event. Nick Dunlap being one of them. He's already one of my favorites to play this week, so I don't mind this being an anchor bucket now that I look at it. Patrick Fishburne, Chan Kim, Matt McCarty, Matt Kuchar, Rico Hoey, Mac Meisner, Ricky Fowler, Ryan Fox, Jacob Bridgman, Chris Goddard, Michael Thornbjornson. I'm not going to go through all of them. Those are all decent names to play. I got no issue playing any of them. Nick Dunlap being my favorite, obviously. Chan Kim, no issue there. Patrick Fishburne, I mean, I'm sure you've heard this throughout the industry. The guy mashes it off the tee. Do I even have his driving distance up here? 307.9 is his average driving distance. That's pretty darn good. He's going to be in the top 10% of this event for driving distance. Yeah, I mean, I would say these 3 golfers, if not just these 2 golfers, have my attention quite a bit this week. I also don't mind Michael Thorbjornsen. This kid, so you remember the Memorial Tournament? He was the only rookie, I think. Maybe Luke Clanton got into the Memorial as well. And I can't remember what the tournament was just before it. Shoot. Was it the Wells Fargo? There was a tournament right before the Memorial that I think Luke Clanton did really well in, but we all thought Michael Thorbjornsen was going to do well in that event. And I think maybe Michael or Luke Clanton got himself into the Memorial because of that. Or maybe he didn't play the Memorial. I honestly, I do not remember. But Luke Clanton has looked better than Michael Thorbjornsen this past year. But it was Thorbjornsen that had all the hype, you know, going in once because he's a PGA Tour member now. I think he graduated from the PGA U. So did, no, Luke Clanton's still he's still an amateur, so he has not graduated yet, but Thorbjornsen did. I don't mind him. I mean, I just went through that whole long diatribe, basically just to say I like Michael Thorbjornsen this week. If this is a course that you can just smash the ball off the tee, who has better upside than him outside of like Chris Goddard or Cameron Champ or, you know, some of the true mashers? Even Hayden Springer down here. Don't sleep on this guy. He hits the ball pretty far too. Yeah. I don't mind any of these guys, honestly. So this being an anchor bucket, I got no issue with that. Now, when it comes to distance or anything like that, here's one thing I want to mention. I kind of did this. I looked at this yesterday. I can go ahead and put a filter on this, and I can look at any stat. And this is, I've been waiting to kind of do a standalone video about this, like a strategy video about this. But I want to look at the best golfers on Bermuda turf at this event last year. This is the 2023, technically, Sanderson Farms Championship. But I look at the best Bermuda golfers. Here are the finishing positions right here. The best Bermuda guy last year was Ben Griffin. He finished second. Second best Bermuda guy was Christian Bezuidenhout. He finished sixth. Now, Bez was in the GPP winning lineup, but he was not in the optimal, and he was also not in the SweetSpot optimal, but he still finished sixth. Then you've got some bad finishes with some missed cuts. Then we had Peter Quest, who finished 25th. Alex Smalley finished 16th. A couple more cuts, 65th, and then another second place finish with Ludwig Oberg. Now, here's the thing. Any stat, if you look at the top 20 golfers in every stat, let me just highlight the top 20. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 golfers in that stat, the top 20 of that stat, finish in the green or finish 20th place or better, with 3 of them finishing 6th place or better. Now, if I looked at one full year's worth of Bermuda grass and see who the best golfers were, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 golfers in the top 20 there as well, with some of these guys missing the cut. Now, missing the cut basically eliminates your chance of winning money this week. So you can't load up on the best golfers in a particular stat category. Now, if I would look at season-long strokes gained stats, which I have over here, let's just look at the best off the tee from top to bottom. So that's the stat right here. You had Ross Steelman, who I don't think we've ever even heard of. I mean, since or at that time. But you had Ludwig, who finished second. He also was second in off the tee stats. Then some missed cuts. Then your winner, Luke List, who finished first. So the off the tee stat is, it doesn't necessarily mean these guys are bombers off of the tee, but more often than not, they're bombers off the tee. So you had second place, first place. And let me just highlight the top 20 golfers in this stat. Goes down to Tyler Duncan of all people. That's crazy. And let me highlight all the, let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 golfers that are in the top 20 of that stat category that finished inside the top 20. Now, if I remove the 16th place finishes, I have 3 golfers that finished 10th or better, and only 2 of those guys were in the optimal lineup. So that's your off the tee stat. How about approach? What does approach look like? Pretty much the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 golfers that would have been inside the top 20, and then Luke List down here, he's probably what, 25th, 24th. So it's not that stat. Is it putting? It is not putting. Look at how bad everyone here in the top 20 of the putting stat did last year. Let me just cruise through this. Let me go to 2023. Let's look at the same stuff. The best Bermuda stats. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 golfers that were inside the top 20 of that stat. And then this is overall Bermuda. This goes back to 2013. 1 year's worth of Bermuda stats. You had Dietrich. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 golfers inside the top 20 of that stat. Only 1 optimal lineup guy. My stats are consistent, by the way. Every single year I do the same thing. So I'm looking at 1 year's worth of off the tee stats. Look at this. Top 20, is Keegan inside the top 20? He is 20th place in this stat category. We can even go to Emiliano Grillo, by the way. This would be the top 21 golfers of this stat. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside the top 20, 4 inside the top 10. You're not getting more than 4 golfers in any one stat category that's going to be top 20. You're never going to get more than 4 golfers inside the top 20 of any stat. Here's approach, by the way. Approach being one of those stats that everybody loves. Here you go. Strokes gained approach. This is 365 days worth of data from last year or 2 years ago, the Sanderson Farms Championship. 365 days looking back. The golfers with the best approach. You had Keegan Bradley and Davis Thompson in the GPP winning lineup, but Mark Hubbard was in the optimal lineup. And Mark Hubbard and Keegan Bradley were the only golfers inside the top 5, inside the top 10, inside the top 20. And Keegan Bradley, by the way, was number 20th he was number 20th in that stat for this field. So that's approach. Putting, what does putting look like? You had 1, 2, 3 inside the top 13, 2 inside the top 10. And if I go to 2022, this is the last year I'm going to look at this. Again, we're going to go over the same stats. So if I go and look at Bermuda, we're looking at the best Bermuda golfers, and I can hide this. Here's the column you want to be looking at for finishes. So you had 17th, 17th, 14th, 1st. So only one person was inside the top 10. Sam Burns was 18th at that in that stat. Go to a full year's worth of data, and you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 golfers inside the top 20, but only one inside the top 10, 2 inside the top 11. Let's just put it that way. We'll cherry pick that stat. 2 were in the GPP winning lineup. 1 was in the optimal. 2 were in the SweetSpot optimal. So there's that. And then if I go to the off the tee stats, we had some golfers that didn't even have stats. But of your best off the tee guys, you had Siwoo here. Siwoo was what? He was 20th. He was the 20th best off the tee golfer in the field. He finished 8th. You had Sam Burns as first, then 14th, 17th, 17th. So only 5 guys inside the top 20, 2 guys inside the top 10. And again, we'll look at approach, because approach is always one of those fancy stats to look at for people. This one's a little bit better, but it's still only a handful. So Matthew Wolff down here was 20th in that stat. He finished 17th, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the highest count that we've done inside the top 20, but there were only 2 golfers inside the top 10, 4 golfers inside the top 11. So, and that's your approach stat. Now, if we went to this year's, let me go ahead and just open this up to everybody and go to these same stats. The best golfers on Bermuda, you have Matt Kuchar, number 1. Ben Griffin's number 2. So here are your top 20 right here. Don't play more than 4 of these guys. Kind of the whole thing that I'm going about. And there are some names in here that people like. Adam Svensson's going to be a name that people talk about. He's 20th in this stat. Eric Cole. Charlie Hoffman, I've heard his name a couple times. Taylor Moore. Davis Riley, who is is he a Mississippi guy? I don't remember. Is he? Yeah, he's a Mississippi guy. He was born and raised in Mississippi. Keith Mitchell is up here. Emiliano Grillo. The mustache man, Chandler Phillips. Don't play Taylor Montgomery. Actually, $6,700. That's not terrible. Harris English, Ricky Fowler, Daniel Berger, Ben Griffin, Matt Kuchar. That's 13 golfers. Find 4 or less of them to anchor your lineups around. And then last year's Bermuda, again, we went through this. So you had Chandler Phillips up there again. We have Mac Hughes, Eric Cole, English, Yeager, Power, McNeely, Svensson, Ben Griffin. That's probably it. Is Patrick Rogers our number 20 guy? He's 17th. So Jacob Bridgman would be our 20th guy. So you've got Taylor Moore in that mix as well. Keith Mitchell, once again. And I'm just, like I said, I'm going over things that I've seen in previous years. Looking at our top off the tee guys. Here are the 20 top off the tee guys. Paul Barjon down here. Long Don Paul Barjon. But you've got Chan Kim, who a lot of people are talking about. Steven Yeager. Sure, we'll talk about Danny Berger. I did talk about Springer before. Hayden Springer. He's a masher off the tee. Kevin Yu. Who else do I want to talk about? Patrick Fishburne. Keith Mitchell. And Cam Champ, Kevin Doherty. Doherty hits the ball a mile, by the way. Ryan Armour. That name shouldn't be up there. He doesn't really hit the ball that far. Ryan Armour, that must just be a lot of fairways hit, is my guess. Then your top approach guys. Philip Knowles. Let's see, who's number 20? We scroll down. Mac Meisner is number 20. So we have Ben Griffin in here, Sam Ryder, Chan Kim, Kevin Yu, Lucas Glover. I guess we saw him with Bermuda stats. Andrew Novak, Keith Mitchell. So, like, I mean, the names that you saw over and over were Keith Mitchell, Chan Kim, and Ben Griffin. Those are the 3 dudes you saw in basically every other stat. Now, don't get me wrong, Ben Griffin could be the one dude that just fits all of those stats, and maybe you want to select 1 or 2 other guys to go with Ben Griffin, or maybe you just want to fade Ben Griffin. all together. Like, that's totally reasonable as well. Anyways, I wanted to go through that. That's a deep dive when it comes to stats. I've been hearing all week long from multiple people like, this is a Masters golf course. You want to choose a guy who hits the ball really far because there's no penalty for missing fairways. This is true. Missing fairways isn't as penal. But if you look at the past, like, leaderboards up here, Liston Ludwig, they hit the ball far. So does Henrik, Norlander, Scott Stallings. Yeah, okay. Christian Bezuidenhout does not. Carl Yuan does not. CT Pan does not. Merritt really doesn't either. Now, those are 4 guys. I get it. The rest of them probably hit the ball pretty far, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the majority last year did. Mac Hughes does not hit the ball very far. I will concede that these 3 golfers hit the ball pretty far. Grillo's average. Hardy, yeah, maybe a little bit north of average. Neesmith doesn't hit the ball that far. Okay, actually, I might eat my words in 2023. I see more mashers at the top of the leaderboard than I do plotters. Burns hits the ball far. Watney doesn't really. Cam Young, obviously, we know hits the ball far. Norlander, I would say, hits the ball far. Hayden Buckley does. Landry does not. Mullinax does. Siwoo's in the middle. I don't know about Reeves, and Sahith he's pretty average, just north of average too. So I would say Bombers actually do hit the ball, or they placed a little bit better in 2022 as well. So here I am eating my words, because Sergio hits the ball far. Malnati does not. JT does not. Norlander, holy crap. How often have we looked at Henrik Norlander's name? What else? Where else did he finish? I thought I saw his name in 2023. I guess not. Wait, I just saw it. Where is it? Maybe not. Okay, Henrik, fourth, and second. 3 of the last 4 years. Wow. Okay. Crazy. Stallings hits the ball far. So does McCumber. Hoffman's in the middle. McCarthy does not. Ventura did. Cam Davis does. Munoz, yeah, I would say average. Benny Ann, probably north of average. Streelman doesn't hit the ball far. Ortiz is north of average. Burgoon, Fratelli at that time did. McNeil did not. English is in the middle. Bazzelli was in the middle as well. So anyways, okay. I can concede that maybe you want at least like 3 bombers in your lineup. 3 or 4. If you can fit them. That makes sense. All right. To round out the bucket system, recent form 1s and strokes gained 2. Okay. So let's look at recent form 1s. We have Keith Mitchell, Austin. Whoa, let's do this by salary. These are all golfers that have good recent form. Now, this is just like one event, so maybe it's not even worth looking at. But we got Mitchell, Seamus Power, Nick Dunlap, Fishburne, Svensson, Kuchar, Lauer, Glover, Chandler Phillips, Desire, Sig, Zach Blair. All your guys 7K and above. 6K and below it's whatever. I'm not gonna be too concerned by that. But hey, dude, we've seen Keith Mitchell in all the stats, like the top 20 in off the tee, top 20 in Bermuda stats. I think even the top 20 when it came to approach stats. I don't know. I don't like Keith Mitchell. I don't want to play Keith Mitchell, but it seems like Keith Mitchell might be a pretty good golfer to anchor your lineups around. I didn't really see Seamus Power up there, but we don't really care that much of trying to find golfers inside the top 20 of certain stat categories. Like I said, 4 at max. So if Seamus not at the top of those lists, that's actually maybe a good thing. So I don't mind Seamus Power. I also don't mind Nick Dunlap. I did want to look at his Bermuda splits though. So he has 9 events under his belt. 53rd is his average finishing position. 11.1% finishing inside the top 10. So basically all that tells us is in 9 events, he's only finished inside the top 10 once. So it doesn't appear that Nick Dunlap is that great on Bermuda golf courses. I don't know if that's because he's played hard Bermuda golf courses. I don't know which golf courses those are. That doesn't Doesn't really look good. Same kind of goes with Patrick Fishburne. So those that are really excited about him, I mean, this could be his, he could finish first. And that'll, all that'll help is his average finishing position. So, you know, in 5 events, say he finishes first this week, then we'll look at this as 5 events, and his overall Bermuda, his average will turn into what? Probably 40th, kind of the same as Dunlap up here, and he'd have a 20% top 10 rate. It's not going to look super great, and that's probably what happens with Nick Dunlap. In fact, now that I think of this, that's kind of what all these golfers are. They can pop off at any point in time. Like they could win a tournament any point in time. I don't necessarily think just because we see bad finishes, we should just ignore Patrick Fishburne. But as more people want to play Patrick Fishburne, maybe this is a reason for us not to play Patrick Fishburne. So if you're doing the whole game theory angle, here's a good reason why not to play Patrick Fishburne. I don't care for Svensson. Matt Kuchar, by the way, really good Bermuda stats. Overall, his average finishing position is 34th. At $8,500, if you're making a cash game lineup, just something that doubles your money or even triples your money, anchoring around Matt Kuchar isn't a bad idea. Guy's been playing pretty good as of late. It's a really good top 10 percentage when it comes to his career, or since 2013, I should say. Average finishing position. He's never played the Country Club of Jackson. I also don't have any of his stats prior to 2013. So obviously he's never done well at this event, but this is a different golf tournament or a golf course. And it's been some time since he last played the Sanderson Farms Championship. But yeah, no issues there. Lucas Glover, by the way, 102 events on Bermuda grass. 48th average finishing position, 10% top 10s. That's not terrible. 102 events. Could do worse. Chandler Phillips seems like lightning in a bottle. I don't mind playing him. But yeah. Not terrible. And then the last one to look at, so that was recent form 1s. That was another anchor bucket. The other one are strokes gained 2s, which all you have to do if you're following along with me on the cheat sheet is make sure there's no active filters and then just sort by strokes gained, the strokes gained bucket, A to Z. And that's how we're going to get all the guys here up that are in the strokes gained 2 bucket. Now this one is a 1 to 3 when it comes to how many golfers you want to roster from this bucket. We have 20 golfers in the bucket. And really when it comes down to it, you know, we have Mav McNeely, Patrick Fishburne. Those are 2 good golfers to anchor your lineups around. We did just talk about Fishburne. Maybe it's a good reason not to play him. That works. We have Rogers, Stevens, Harris English, Bo Hazer. Actually, you know what? Bo Hazer, I don't mind him this week. We're going to talk about the Marquee Tee Times. I think he's in the best group of the week. Second best group of the week. I don't mind playing Bo Hazer this week. He's a Texas guy. He's going to be good on Bermuda. No issues there. Novak, I like. Taylor Moore, I like. Luke List, probably not going to go Luke List at all. Matty Schmid, though, I need to change his name to Matty. I think I'm probably missing out on some stats, to be quite honest with you. I do like Matty Schmid as well. I'm not going to talk about the rest of the guys. Norman Zhang is a decent speculative play. Young kid, I believe, that had some promise last year or the year before. I can't remember. But obviously playing on the PGA Tour now. This is probably his second event. I think he played the Procore Championship. So he must have went back to Korn Ferry or something, graduated, and it, you know, finished inside the top 5 or top 10 or even won some events to get him back here. I mean, that's fine. Playing the Panda, Norman Zhang. I don't really care to talk about the rest of the guys. It's fine. I don't know who to select from here. I'll just let the optimizer kind of do its work. So let's go ahead and get into the Marquee Tee Times. This is going to be the last piece before we start building lineups. So if you're following along on the cheat sheet, basically go into the group rank column here, sort A to Z, and we're going to see our top groups of the week using the SweetSpot score. So it's their cumulative score together as a threesome. Who are the best golfers or the best groups in the field? And I'm highlighting them by every third. I'm going to go and change this to 150. Maybe I'll go back to 160. Yeah, that works. So these are the top groups according to the SweetSpot score this week at the Sanderson Farms Championship. Now, I go through the Marquee Tee Times every single week because we see 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times in the optimal lineup. And they're also not playing together. So we can look at previous years just to show you what it looks like. So 2024. Let me go ahead and sort this by salaries and then group rank this. We only had 1 golfer last year in the optimal lineup, and that was Ludwig Oberg. But 2 golfers were in the GPP winning lineup, and 2 golfers were in the SweetSpot optimal. So we didn't get the optimal, like 2 guys in the optimal lineup last year, but that's fine. The SweetSpot optimal took down the GPP, and again, you had 2 guys in the GPP winning lineup there as well. Looking at this one, let's sort this by salaries and then group rank. We had 2 guys here in the optimal lineup, not playing together yet again. You had Keegan Bradley, Sepp Straka. This is why I like to go through the Marquee Tee Times. See, did we have them for 2022? Sorta, not really. I think we just got to sort this by color, I want to say. Yeah, I think I could go by color. I think these are your quote-unquote Marquee Tee Times, but there aren't as many. Okay. So we had 1 guy. Close to having more, but I mean, like, yeah, I don't know how I did it in 2022 for this tournament. Normally it's the top 9 groups, and I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups highlighted. So that doesn't seem right. Maybe I forgot to do it. I don't know. That's all right. I'd have to go back and look at it. Not quite sure. Let's see. Is 2021 any different? No, not really. Okay. So again, of these top 9 groups, I want you to look at these, select 2 to 4 golfers. So, oh boy. Let me do something really quick. I see like incorrect information. I think when I copy and pasted this over, it did something funky. I am pretty sure that this is correct. Let me actually go to the cheat sheet and change it here as well, because that's not correct. All right. Should be good now. Yep, there we go. I had different game numbers and different AM. See, I have different AM PMs. Oh, I forgot to even. Okay. Let's do this. My apologies. And just so you guys have access to this, let me go ahead and put it back up on your page as well. I'm sure if you guys were looking at that and being like, what the heck? Well, now you know. All right, so now we have that all fixed. Let's go over this again. So you at home, I want you to select 2 to 4 golfers. And actually, those of you in chat, I will build lineups for you guys that I want you to anchor your lineups around. So I have, I think, 3 of you in chat. Find 2 to 4 golfers you want to build your lineups around. And we are going to build lineups with those 2 to 4 golfers. In group 1, we have Ben Griffin, Patrick Rogers, and Beau Hosler. I have no issue with those 3 golfers. Obviously, I like Ben Griffin a little bit more than the other 2, but I've got no issue. Like I said, I don't mind playing Beau Hosler. So if you are pivoting off of Ben Griffin, who might be high ownership, maybe do so to Patrick Rogers or Beau Hosler. I think that's fine. Group 2's Mac Hughes, Luke List, and Patton Kizzire. Patton Kizzire won the Procore Championship. Says his game's feeling good. He's back. He's obviously back in the winner's circle. He's back doing good things on the golf course. I got no issue playing Patton Kizzire. I'm not going to try to stretch to play Patton Kizzire, but I'm not scared to play Mac Hughes. Probably going to distance myself from Luke List. Luke List, you're going to have to just, like, he's a golfer that I'm going to have to see something from before really diving down and trying to play more lineups of Luke List than I care to. Group 3 is Nick Dunlap, Steven Yeager, and Peter Malnati. I like Dunlap. I also like Yeager, so if I'm not playing any Dunlap lineups, I don't mind going to Steven Yeager. I will be staying away from Peter Malnati. Friends, don't let friends draft Peter Malnati in DraftKings. I know he would have won you good money at the Valspar, but that is his 1 in 20 events. Or what was it? I looked it up. It was like 1 in 60 events. Because I think if you went back 60 events since the last time he won, or not the last time, from the Valspar, he had 2 top 10 finishes in those 60 starts, and they were back to back, and they were closer to 60 starts ago than it was to his last win. I don't think Peter Malnati is that good of a golfer, even in a limited field, like they're not limited field, but a weak strength of field event. I think I'd just stay away. Group 4, you got Johnny Vegas, Ricky Fowler, and Lucas Glover. I don't mind that. I should say I don't mind that. I don't mind playing any of those guys. The next group after that is Chandler Phillips, Vince Whaley, and David Skins. I like the mustache man, Chandler Phillips. Vince Whaley bombs the ball off the tee. I don't have an issue playing Vince Whaley. Probably not all that invested in David Skins. Group 6 is Seamus Power, Adam Schenk, Lee Hodges. I don't mind Power. I don't mind Schenk. Probably staying away from Hodges. Group 7 is Fishburne, Chan Kim, and Rico Hoey. This seems like a dynamite group. I actually like this group quite a bit. And I don't mind anchoring around Fishburne, Chan Kim, or Rico Hoey. Don't mind that at all. In fact, I might. I mean, they're all pretty easy price tags to do that. So why not? Group 8 is Sam Stevens, Zach Blair, Taylor Montgomery. I almost want to say friends don't let friends draft Taylor Montgomery, just like friends don't let friends draft Peter Malnati. Sam Stevens, I don't mind. Zach Blair, probably going to stay away from. And then the last one is Mac Meisner, Ryan Fox, and Robbie Shelton. I like that group. I like that group a lot. And Robbie Shelton's an Alabama boy, so he should, in theory, do pretty well on Bermuda. Not a very good average finishing position on Bermuda, and his top 10 rate isn't super great either, but you know. Yeah, Ryan Fox also no top 10s on Bermuda. Someone mentioned his name today. I was like, holy crap, he's in the field. Kind of like the idea of playing Ryan Fox at this event. At $7,600, it seems pretty good. Mac Meisner, 14% rate, finishing inside the top 10. That must be, he's only played 7 events. That must be one event that he did that in. So I guess I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I've got one request to build lineups, and that's AJ Love. Okay, that's fine. Let's put some music on. And AJ, I mean, I guess you get me all night tonight. Throw some music on. We're going to build some lineups. He says Rogers and Stevens. Okay. Rogers and Sam Stevens. Let's build some lineups. I'm not even going to put a timer up since there's only one request to build lineups. That is totally fine. Oh my god, we have the assassin in there already? Man, I'm not ready for that. Or maybe I am. First lineup is Eric Cole, Patrick Rogers, Steven Yeager, Sam Stevens, Chandler Phil. Dude, all the names that we were just talking about. I don't know exactly how that fares when it comes to like trying to stay away from some of those golfers because they're in the top stats. But I think this is fine. I'll save it. Ben Griffin, Patrick Rogers, Sam Stevens, Harris English, Chandler Phillips yet again, and KH Lee. That one's fine. By the way.
Oh, you gotta give them that hot tour and spit on that thing. You get me?
Had to. Been a while since I've streamed, so we got to put that in there. Lineup number 3 is Ben Griffin, Patrick Rogers, Sam Stevens, Harris English. Oh, it wants to kick out Sam Stevens, which, whatever. Let me give him a boost because I want to see other people get kicked out. So Davis, okay, yeah, I'll save that one. I didn't save it before. Love it's adding Griffin. Yeah, same, man. Oh, David Skins, we were just talking about that. Is this 4 guys? Oh boy. I see. I forgot to update this for mine. That's why it's being kind of weird. There's 5 dudes from the Marquee Tee Times. And it was doubled up in group 1 and group 5. So that's no bueno. No bueno. Let's start this over and build lineups again. I knew something was weird. It just seemed off. Let's try this. Let's try this again. So we get the assassin yet again. Button didn't work. Eric Cole, Rogers, Yeager, Sam Stevens, Chandler Phillips, and Ryo Hisatsune. Next lineup is Mac Hughes, Patrick Rogers, Sam Stevens, Emiliano Grillo, Taylor Moore. I like that. And then KH Lee. That's fine. Then we get Mac Hughes, Patrick Rogers, Sam Stevens, Grillo, Taylor Moore, Davis Riley. So now we're getting away from Ben Griffin. I think that has a lot to do with, you know what? Why Ben Griffin was being chosen before is because it was, you picked somebody that's in the same group as him, Patrick Rogers. So they're in the same Marquee Tee Time. And because I didn't have those guards up, that's why I was selecting Ben Griffin. So, I mean, hey, there were some lineups there for you that if you wanted to ignore the Marquee Tee Time rules, you had them. You got them right there. This lineup is very balanced, and I don't mind it at all. You got Eric Cole, Patrick Rogers, Sam Stevens, Harris English, Chandler Phillips, and Patton Kazire. No issues with that lineup at all. This one's Eric Cole, Patrick Rogers, Sam Stevens, Harris English, Taylor Moore, Luke List. Another really extremely balanced lineup, which is fine. We add David Skins to this lineup. Let's see what other ones can we do. Joel Damon. Okay. So here's a core 5. If you like those 5 golfers, maybe this is where you just get really narrow and you just let the substitutions continue to happen. It's almost like a cascading way of building lineups, if you think about it. Vince Whaley, I love Vince Whaley. Is there anybody here that you don't like, AJ Love? That was, well, this changed things up a little bit. But from the previous lineups, who was it? It was Eric Cole, Rogers, Stevens, and English, and more. Those 5 guys. Any of those guys you don't like? This one changes it up a little bit. We get Patrick Rogers, Steven Yeager, Sam Stevens, Harris English, Emiliano Grillo, and Chandler Phillips. I think that one's fine. Eric Cole, Rogers, Stevens, Hubbard, Moore, and Chandler Phillips. That one's fine as well. Hoffman replaces Hubbard. So there's a lot of Eric Cole, Patrick Rogers lineups. And you know what? I don't mind it. I don't hate it because the best chance of hitting an optimal lineup is being extremely narrow. And if we can figure out the 5 golfers that are going to be the optimal lineup, and we just got to cycle through, you know, the last golfer, going through all these different names, perhaps that's how we hit the optimal lineup. Rogers, Yeager, Stevens, English, Moore, Phillips. This might be my favorite lineup of the night so far. It's going to be extremely different. How many people are going to go start with Rogers first of all, and then go Yeager, Stevens, English? I mean, it's like 91,900, so it's back-to-back prices. Then it's Stevens and English, 84 to 83. That's back-to-back prices. And then Moore, Phillips, it's back-to-back prices as well. That one's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that one because I want access to that lineup. We're going to go yellow. Not like it's like my favorite lineup, but I don't mind it. Rogers, Svensson, Vegas, Stevens, English, Schenk. 9, 4 8K golfers and a 6. You want to be a little different? There you go. I don't peppering the 8K range isn't my thing. That's a Chad Eckert thing. And that one and this lineup also peppers the 8K range. Okay. AJ, you want to see anything different? And of the other 5 viewers, anybody else want to see some lineups? We have Rogers, Svensson, Stevens, English, Meisner, and Phillips. That one's fine. Rogers, Yeager, Svensson, Vegas, Stevens, Karl Yuan, $6,200 Karl Yuan. That is super interesting. Hughes, Rogers, Stevens, English, Phillips, and Ryder. I like that lineup a lot. 10, 9, 8, 8, 7, 6. Sure. I'll go ahead and highlight that one. I like that one. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I'm going to start building lineups. I'm just going to go through different lineup variations. Ooh. Here's a little bit of a change. We get Nick Dunlap, Rogers, Stevens, English, Phillips, and Pearson Cootie. That one's a good one too. And then we go Rogers, Svensson, Stevens, English, Lauer, and Phillips. That one's fine. So I like this one. So those are the 2 of my favorites. I'm going to save this again to add a little buffer. I'm going to do some theory crafting when it comes to building lineups. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how I used to get like really into the weeds when building lineups. So I'm going to go ahead and take what we kind of talked about with top 20, like the top 20 stat categories, and just select 3. So I don't want more than, actually I don't want more than 4 inside the top 20. So let me pick out golfers that I really like, and I want to remove golfers I don't really care that much for. So for your lineups that we were building, we had quite a bit of Harris English in there. We had a lot of Chandler Phillips. And it was kind of a mix of everyone else. Like we did see some, we saw one Hisatsune. We saw some Svensson. So actually your lineups are right there, dude. Oh, we saw a lot of Eric Cole and Taylor Moore. So we saw a lot of Eric Cole, Taylor Moore, Harris English, and Chandler Phillips, but not all of them were in the same lineup. So you did have your 4. So that wasn't bad. Let's see, when it comes to last year, there's Phillips that was up there. We had 1 Mac Hughes, and I'm not going to be too concerned about that. We had some English, we had some Jaeger, no power, which is fine. We had some Svensson, no Griffin because you had someone that played with him. I've already forgot who was in his group. We had 1 Whaley lineup, 1 Meisner lineup. We had 1 Hodges lineup. Taylor Moore was another guy that was frequent. So there's 5. So maybe that wasn't the greatest. Just fine. We got these other stat categories. And this is just like, what would you call this? I mean, this is noise. Definitely this is noise. But I don't mind kind of digging down this deep to be very unique with lineup building and be very exact and precise. So when we come down here, who did we have inside the top 20? We did have some Jaeger. Not a lot, but some Jaeger. Carl Yuan was in the last one, so too was Damon. Vegas showed up once or twice. That's about it, man. You didn't have many golfers from here, and that's not terrible. We've seen 1, if not 2. Oh, we saw some Patrick Rogers. So Rogers was 21st in that list. And that's fine. 21st is fine. So you had him, no one else really. That's fine. What do I think about Fowler this week? I got no issue. If you have conviction to play Ricky Fowler, go for it. I don't see there being a huge issue with that. Then when it comes to approach, who was 20th? Meisner was, okay. So who did you have here? No one really. Some Vegas. That was it. So I guess if I'm going to be building lineups from just here, being inside the top 20 of approach play, JJ Spawn and Keith. Okay, so Keith Mitchell actually looks very attractive with the stats that I see him inside the top 20 of. He's top 20 in this field in approach. He's top 20 in this field off the tee. He also is top 20 on Bermuda tracks. I don't mind going him and Ben Griffin and kind of just ignoring everyone else. I don't mind like adding in some Kevin Yu or, you know, some of these other guys. And if you wanted to add JJ Spawn to the mix, I guess I don't have an issue with that either. But just when it comes to the approach play of the like, if I'm trying to anchor around golfers, I think certain golfers are going to be fine. Like even Chan Kim, I kind of like. Novak, I don't mind playing some of. He's not going to be an anchor play, but I don't mind him showing up in some of my lineups. It's like, here's Keith Mitchell again. He's at the top of off the tee stats. Is Ben Griffin up here? I know he was in previous tournaments. Here, let me find him in approach and see what his stat was. Off the tees in the negative. Wow. Okay. I did not see that. That's fine. So Mitchell, we're looking off the tee. Yeah, I agree with you, AJ. Let's try Mitchell and Griffin. That's what I was thinking of doing. We can try some Mitchell and Griffin. Let's see. Who else do I want to consider pairing these guys up with? Kevin Yu was both off the tee and approach. Yeah, he was. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I guess Rico Hoey's up here. This is off the tee stats. Steven Yeager's up there. Chan Kim. Okay, so there's Chan Kim. He's inside the top 20. So even Chan Kim. So yeah, those 4 golfers that I mentioned approach. Who was it? It was JJ Spawn, Mitchell, Ben Griffin, and Chan Kim. Those 4. That was approach. I don't mind them. Here off the tee, I don't mind adding like Rico Hoey to the mix. I also don't mind Kevin Yu. Kevin Yu's got to be the top of approach too, right? Yep, he's up there as well. $7,100. Kevin Yu. Dude, I do like Kevin Yu. All right, so what does it look like when it with the Bermuda again? Let's see what names did we see a lot. So there's Griffin, Mitchell, ooh, I know how to do this. Dude, I used to do this. Okay, I just remembered a way I used to do this. So basically, I find kind of a point. Let's do like the top 25. That's Maverick McNeely. I'll take this stat over here, which is off the tee, and I want to be greater than 0.210. So we'll filter by condition, go greater than or equal to 0.210. And then approach. Actually, hold on. Let's scratch this right now. Let's see. No. Let's keep that there. Actually, I want to know what all my points are. Never mind. Approach. Top 25 in approach would be what? Tom Whitney here? Yep. And he is 0.26. So 0.1 and 0.26. I can remember that. Overall Bermuda. Your top 20 dude here, top 25 is Chris Lee Hodges, 49.52. And then Bermuda, it's Carl Yuan, number 25. He is 47. So we'll just say greater or better than 45. Or let's do 48 for both of those. Better than 48. We can do that. So off the tee. Filter by condition, greater than or equal to 0.210. Approach is greater than or equal to 0.26. Really getting down there. And then Bermuda, let's go filter by condition, less than or equal to 48. It's Keith Mitchell's the only guy remaining. How about 50? Nope, that's still. Wow. Let's do this. Let's just go 0.20 for approach. That only adds one person. 0.20 for off the tee. That adds 2 people. And then can I go greater than or less than or equal to, let's go 50. And now we get 2 people, one being Danny Berger. Yeah, okay. That ain't happening. So Mitchell's the only one that's going to be in all of the stats, which is fine. That's not how it works out. Like, I'm not looking to find several golfers in the top 20 of a particular stat. Like Ben Griffin, by the way, has the Bermuda stats and the approach stat, but doesn't have the off the tee stat. And I imagine that's how it's going to be with some of these other golfers. So that's fine. Yeah, so I already have names in my head that I like quite a bit based off of what we just talked about. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give them all a bonus. So JJ Spawn was one of them. We'll give him a 100-point bonus. Nick Dunlap was not. Let's go ahead and give Ben Griffin a little bit of a bonus. Keith Mitchell's going to get quite a bonus. I'm going to give him 200 points. So the optimizer really has to consider playing Keith Mitchell. Who else did we see? Chad Kim was definitely up there with stats, so we'll give him plus 100. Let's see, who else did we see? Jaeger. Yeah, he already is up there. Didn't really see Cole up there all that much. It was Kevin Yu was the other guy. So let's give Kevin Yu a plus 100. I'm just going to change his number right now. Did I see anybody else up there? I mean, Danny Berger, sure. Man, is this where Daniel Berger actually gets it back? You know what? I am going to give him a 100-point bonus. Why not? He has a low point total. Pat Kazire will pick over him. So we'll do that. What's going on, Mr. Carnivore? Nice to see you. Who else did we see? I mean, Taylor Moore was up there with Bermuda stats. It was just those four, right? It was Spawn, Mitchell, Griffin, and Chan Kim. And then we saw Kevin Yu. So it was those five. So I do have Chan Kim. I just put Kevin Yu up there. Okay, so there's the 4 and the 5. Okay. So Chan Kim, we're going to give an extra 100 points to. Ben Griffin, we're going to give an extra 100 points to. JJ Spawn gets an extra 100 points. And so too, actually, Keith Mitchell gets 200 points. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna hit run optimizer. I'm not even going to anchor around players. And here we go. We get Mitchell, Griffin, Grillo, Taylor Moore, Chandler Phillips, Patton Kazire. Chandler Phillips. Okay. Sure. Oof. Luke List. I don't know about that. Mitchell, Griffin, Hubbard, Chandler Phillips, Luke List. Okay, hold on. Chan Kim is in group 7. So 2 is Patrick Fishburne and Rico Hoey. Okay, that's whatever. Griffin is in the same lineup as Rogers and Bo Hauser. Okay, that's fine. Mitchell is not in an anchor lineup. Or a Marquee Tee Time, I should say. Nor is JJ Spawn. Okay. I don't really care for Luke List. I really don't. I don't want to play Luke List. Kevin Yu, I don't mind. So Kevin Yu is actually going to get a bump over Chandler Phillips, which I'm just going to veto. We're going to kick out Chandler Phillips. This lineup's interesting, though. Emiliano Grillo, Taylor Moore, Phillips, and Yu with Mitchell and Griffin. I don't mind Taylor Moore. I really don't. Grillo, and I actually don't mind Grillo. Like, this lineup's pretty solid, now that I think of it. That's fine. Yeah, Carnivore, if you want some lineups built, I can build you some lineups. Let's see here, we got Mitchell, Griffin, Hoffman, Moore, Glover, and Kevin Yu. I would much rather pick Kevin Yu than Lucas Glover. So I'm going to bring back Yu yet again. And I don't want Glover. I don't want that lover, that Glover lover. And I don't care for Charlie Hoffman. Do I? That's fine, actually. Let's check it out. Okay, there we go. This is a lineup I kind of like a lot. Mitchell, Griffin, Chan, Kim, so I get the 3. Grillo, Yu, I get 4. That's fine. And then Alejandro Tosti. Tosti has sucked in the last 2 months, but hey, I don't mind going back to him. Hayden Buckley, sure, he's top. He's finished inside the top 20 here before. Oh, we get Moore and then Brandon Wu to go with Kevin Yu, Chan Kim, Ben Griffin, Keith. Sure, why not? Change it up a little bit. Oh, we get the assassin in there. Hadouken! So Mitchell, Griffin, Eric Cole. So 10-9-9. Then it's Kevin Yu, Skins, and the assassin. I love it. Mitchell, Griffin, Chan Kim, Taylor Moore, Riley, and Lee Hodges. I'm going to stay away from Lee Hodges. Ooh, we get Mississippi's own Davis Riley in this lineup with Mitchell, Griffin, Chan Kim, Kevin Yu, KH Lee, and Davis Riley. I like that. I don't want KH Lee in that lineup. Is this a TPC golf course? No, it's not. So we don't play KH Lee. It's a country club. It's a total opposite. Although I guess the TPC is the players network. It's a network just for professional golfers. So that one's fine. Here we go. I like this lineup a lot. We get Mitchell, Griffin, Chan Kim, Moore, Davis Riley, and Sam Ryder. Yeah, sign me the hell up. That's a sexy lineup. By the way, if you are not a member on YouTube, a white tier member or above, if I can entice you in becoming a white tier member or above, I do build lineups Wednesday night for myself. I give you my full analysis as to why I am playing the players that I'm playing. I actually build all of my lineups on stream. I don't tell you which contest that I put them in because that would be breaking DraftKings TOS. But I put my money where my mouth is. Anyone that's here will see that I build lineups using the optimizer exclusively. And then, you know, basically maybe what I should do is review my lineups the next week. So I can do that going forward. I won't, like tomorrow, like most Wednesday nights, I think what I'll do is I'll review what last week's lineups look like, how much money I made, all that good stuff. Which lineups were the best, and then I'll get into lineup building or finishing my lineups. This week I won't be able to because I put in 5 lineups I think for the President's Cup and doubled my money just because I thought the Americans were going to whip up on the international team. Unfortunately, Corey Connors being in the captain spot would have been your best lineup I think you would have built. I had Scotty Scheffler in my captain quite a bit, with all of them being Americans except for one international guy. And I can't remember who my last dude was. It's in the 4K range, I want to say, who was an international golfer. Could have been Minwoo Lee, although I think it was $200 cheaper. I don't remember who it was, but anyways, yeah, it was pretty good. What about Campos this week? I don't mind Campos. You also said somebody about Fowler. I did answer the question about Fowler. I don't mind playing Ricky Fowler this week. Okay, so we get 5 golfers. Actually, not so much 5. These would I wouldn't have more than 4 golfers inside the top 20 of any of these stats. This one's a good lineup. David Lipsky, by the way, this is a tournament that David Lipsky can do well at. So I actually really like that lineup. Johnny Vegas gets thrown in the mix. We take out Chan Kim, we put in Vegas. That one's fine. I don't mind it. Yeah, so anyways, if you want to see me build lineups, really talk in depth about my final findings, basically, as to lineup building, what I think is going to work best, some of my favorite combos, all that kind of stuff, I do that Wednesday nights for members only on YouTube. So that is white tier and above. If you have a white tier membership, you will have access to that video. Mitchell, Griffin, Chan Kim, Taylor Moore, Kevin Yu, and Aaron Baddeley. I'm going to stay away from Baddeley. Although this could be an event he'd do just fine at. No thanks. Party Marty, sure. He did well at Pro Core, so I don't mind going with these guys. Hoffman and Tyler Duncan. Sure, why not? Let's be really weird about it and put a lineup like this together. Bob Shelton. We were just talking about him. I don't mind it. So I think I'm probably going to cut out Kevin Yu pretty soon. Here's Ricky Fowler. Yeah, I'll do, I'm going to kick out Kevin Yu after this one. Oh, Taylor Montgomery. Sure. We'll do one Taylor Montgomery lineup and that's it. So what I will do is actually take out the 100 points for Kevin Yu. That's enough, Kevin Yu. That's enough. Let's see. I like this lineup. Then no, I don't really care for the rest of those. Martin Laird, that one's fine. These ones I don't mind either. Let's just do that one. This one's fine too. I'm not like super sold on Emiliano Grillo. But yeah, those are fine. Okay. Ooh, sure. We'll do a roll call. Put in your favorite golfer this week. That'll be roll call number 2. Put in your favorite golfer for this week's tournament that you want to play. Who do you want to play more than anyone else for the Sanderson Farms Championship? Just put in any golfer. And you will get an entry into the weekly and monthly giveaway. Griffin, okay. Ben Griffin, I'm sure. Yeah, he's probably my favorite too. Same with Joanne's. Ooh, look at this lineup. We get Keith Mitchell, Griffin, Hoffman. Yeah, these two I don't really care for. Daniel Berger and Vincent Whaley. Holy moly. I'm going to bring these guys back, and I'm actually going to take out the Seagull. I don't care that much for Charlie Hoffman. What's going on, Nathan? Nathan, you won the weekly and monthly giveaway. Just throwing that out there. I would say, hey, go check out the beginning of the video, but we'll be nice this time. Hey, Air Carnivore, what does the RN stand for? Is that like registered nurse, or does it mean something else? I don't know if I've ever asked that question, but I am curious. Oh, look at this lineup. We get Mitchell, Griffin, Grillo, Taylor Moore, Fox, and Joel Damon. Sure. I'm going to bring back Fox, and I'm going to kick out Grillo. Ooh, S.H. Kim. We get Danny Berger with Joel Damon, these three golfers. Mitchell, Griffin, Kim. Okay. Sure. I'm going to kick out Joel Damon. I'm not a huge fan of Joel Damon either. Okay. So, I figured as much. I mean, RN being something else would be kind of interesting. Friends don't let friends draft Peter Malnati. So we're going to go ahead and skip Peter Malnati. Here's a good lineup. Austin Smotherman has been kind of turning it up a little bit. Mitchell, Griffin, Chan Kim, Moore, Cootie, and Smotherman. I like that. I shot a 75 on Sunday in Memphis while visiting family. My best round in many years. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. You'll rewatch the stream tomorrow at work and act surprised. Sounds good, Nathan. Oh, we get Troy Merritt in this lineup. Okay. I don't mind it. Mitchell, Griffin, Chan Kim, Moore, Cootie, and Merritt. Let's remove Pearson Cootie. Try to get someone a little bit different. Mitchell, Griffin, Hubbard, Moore, Berger, and Blair. I don't think I want Blair in this lineup. Ben Coles, sure. Mitchell, Griffin, Meisner, Moore, Berger, and Coles. That's pretty good. So I just wanted to build 20 lineups with kind of that core of Mitchell, Griffin, and Chan Kim. So I'm actually going to move these back to what their values were before. Sure, let's see what some JJ Spawn lineups could be like. Does anyone else want lineups built for them? Actually, you know what? I will do this tomorrow night. I'm not going to build more lineups for myself. I will build lineups for any of you guys that want lineups built out there. I'm going to call the stream and I'm either calling the stream now if there aren't any other lineups that want to be built, or I will in 15 minutes. Just depends. Whatever. There's no lineups that want to be built, we can end it now. Otherwise, I will build 15 minutes worth of lineups for other people. Up to you guys. I am getting a bit tired, so I don't mind calling it quits right now. Mavin Griffin, okay. Of course, AJ. All right, let me actually move JJ Spawn's value back to what it was. I don't care for Lee Hodges, so we can just kick him out. We still actually, okay, no. So it goes McNeely, Griffin, English, Moore, Phillips, and Patton Kazire. That one's fine. Hey, your call, boss. Yeah, I'll build a few lineups here for Nathan, and then I'll probably call it quits. Mav McNeely, Ben Griffin, Svensson, Taylor Moore, Chandler Phillips. Okay. Nathan. Chandler Phillips is going to show up a lot, and I think so too is Taylor Moore. So if you want me to kick any of those guys out, you let me know. So it's these four yet again, and then it's Luke List, David Skins. McNeely, Griffin, Hoffman, Grillo, Taylor Moore, Chandler Phillips. Huh. I don't know about that one. Kick them both? Okay. Taylor Moore gets the boot. So does the mustache man, Chandler Phillips. All right. We get McNeely, Griffin, Hubbard, Grillo, Glover, and Berger once we do that. It's very balanced. That's a 10-9-8, 7-7-7. One's fine. Joel Damon gets added to the mix. That one's fine. Okay. Let's do something really quick. So I do like these lineups. but I'm going to save these over here. And I'm going to clear all of this out. I want to see different lineups. So let me go ahead and bring back, let's bring in my ownership. Actually, I have that for the rest of them. Okay. This should help. So let's anchor on the guys you want, and let's build some unique lineups. The first one's not going to be unique. Although, is it? Yeah, this is unique. McNeely, Griffin, Yeager, Taylor Moore, Patton Kizzire, and the assassin, Rio Hasatsune. Save that one. Move on. So now Taylor Moore won't get selected. We'll have unique lineups going forward. McNeely, Griffin, Vegas, Grillo, Phillips, and KH Lee. McNeely, Griffin, English, Hoffman, Glover, and Davis Riley. I like that one. McNeely, Griffin, Cole, Svensson, Lee, Hodges, Yuan. I don't care for Hodges or Yuan, so I'm just going to save those and move on. Move on from Yuan. McNeely, Griffin, Hubbard, Meisner, List, and David Skins. That one's not terrible, man. I want to see what the next one will be like, because I do like this lineup. I don't really care for List or Skins, but it's very interesting. Whole different lineup. Mac Hughes, McNeely, Griffin, Joel Damon, Shank, and Ryder. I like that lineup a lot. McNeely, Griffin, Hubbard, Lauer, Luke List, and Danny Berger. Sure. Like I said, I don't really care that much for List, but that lineup's okay. I want to like this lineup. We get McNeely, Griffin, Cole. Then we drop down to the 7K range and go Coles, Whaley, Cootie. I don't know about that. You know who I haven't seen in any of these lineups tonight is Matt Kuchar, which I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of. Like, not seeing Matt Kuchar. This lineup is Mitchell, McNeely, Griffin, Whaley, Montgomery, Toasty. Lots of volatility here in Montgomery and Toasty, but they have tremendous upside. You all know I don't really care that much for Taylor Montgomery. One of the worst golf swings on the PGA Tour. But if you wanted to be a little different, Montgomery at some point in time, when he first came onto tour, was pretty damn good. So that's fine. Friends don't let friends draft Peter Malnati, so I'm actually gonna remove him, and let's bring back the other guy that I kicked out, which was SH Kim. I'm gonna build 2 more lineups after I save the next one, and we'll call her quits. There we go. We get a Kuchar lineup here: McNeely, Ben Griffin, Kuchar, English, Whaley, and SH Kim. I like that lineup actually quite a bit. McNeely, Griffin, Grillo. There we go with Taylor Moore and Chandler Phillips. I think we already saved this lineup, which is fine. We saved that lineup in the original ones that we were building. This one, I'm not gonna do Luke List. Let's go ahead and kick him out. McNeely, Griffin, Hubbard, Hoffman, Glover, Damon. Let's not and say we didn't. I just saw Novak's name and I was like, man, tomorrow when I build lineups, I'm gonna make sure I have some Novak in them. I like this. McNeely, Griffin, Hubbard, Novak, Glover, and Ben Coles. That's a good one to end on. That's a really good lineup. 998 777. I like it. All right. Nathan, that was, I think, probably 15 lineups that I built, including the 4 or 5 that I built before changing up the ownership. So hopefully you got something good out of those lineups. I will be back tomorrow night for members only. You got to be a white tier member or above to check out the video tomorrow night. But I will be going live around 8 p.m. I think it will be. So I'll go live 8 p.m. I don't think I'm going to keep... I mean, I might keep some of these lineups, but I'm gonna go into my strategy tomorrow. I have 100 lineups reserved, or 100 contest reserved, I should say. So I will be building 100 lineups tomorrow night, and I'll chat with you all if you are a white tier member or above. And you know, if you want to pick my brain, by all means do so, and maybe I'll ask to see what you guys think about certain things. Thursday, I will... Let's do a website stream Thursday too. Let me load up my... let me build the dashboards from a website, and then I'm going to put them onto the site. And this one, the website video, will be available for everybody. And that will be a stream also. That'll be a live stream. I'll probably go around 9 p.m., I want to say, Thursday night. Maybe 8 p.m. What time works best for all of you? If you're interested in that website video, I know I have 3 of you in chat. But if you wanted to check it out, does 8 p.m. work best? Does 9 p.m. work best? Tonight I went early because, well, the days are getting shorter and 7 p.m. is pretty dark, so I don't mind going this early to end early. I always don't mind ending just a little bit early. But what works best for you all? Later, earlier? I know for Joanne, it's East Coast time for her, so it's like 10 o'clock. 8 p.m.? Okay. Yeah, we can do 8 p.m. I think the late streams can be 8 p.m. going forward, and then like the earlier streams can be 7. Try to end at 10 every single time I stream. This one will be early, obviously, because it's the Sanderson Farms Championship. No one really cares about it. All right, well, yeah, we'll go with 8. We'll go with 8 p.m. Thursday for the website stream. I will showcase what I've got for you all. It'll be we're gonna try to make it look like a real website. So, all right, that's all that I have for you all tonight. Email me if you got any questions. You can DM me on Twitter. You know, if you want to show up in the streams tomorrow night or Thursday, ask questions there, by all means do so. But this video is over, so I will see you all later. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.